What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Anime Devil Hunter, and I hope everyone's having an awesome day. For today's video, essentially will be power scaling. We'll be trying to determine the gap in terms of strength between Luffy and Shanks. Now, I and many others believe Shanks isn't going to be a serious opponent for Luffy, meaning I don't think he is evil. But the significance of this video comes from the fact that Shanks and Blackbeard are going to fight, and Shanks will most likely lose. I and many others wholeheartedly believe the battle for the King of the Pirates will come down between Luffy and Blackbeard. Whoever is the victor of that battle will be crowned King of the Pirates. Now with that in mind, if Luffy isn't on par with Shanks in terms of strength, then how could he possibly defeat Blackbeard? So with that out the way, we are going to jump straight into this video, but before we do, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Subscribe for more awesome One Piece content coming straight to your feed. We do a lot on this channel, weekly reviews, character explain videos, and more. I just put out 1043 reviews, so definitely go ahead and check that out. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Comment down below what you think, how close is Luffy to Shanks, and of course, whether or not you enjoyed this video. With that being said, let's cut the chit chat, let us begin. So we're all aware that the Yonko are all close to each other in terms of strength. Of course, they're not evenly matched, but they're very close to each other. And if they were to hypothetically fight each other head on, we get a 10-day battle or something crazy along those lines. You know how old it'd be. Now, as of right now, Luffy is currently 1v1 in Kaido. Now, before I continue, I want to remind those of you who have forgotten, Kaido has fought and taken on almost everyone in Onigashima. This man has been running a gauntlet. There is no other way to put it. As of 1042, we just found out that Kaido has the ability to use Future Sight. And I personally believe Kaido didn't use Future Sight till now because he's been fucking around this entire fight. I mean, if Kaido uses Future Sight consistently throughout the fight, then this would have been over long ago. But because he's in a drunk state and he's having fun, he wants to prolong the fight and keep having fun. So no need to use it. It was more so of a flex to me. That's how I took it. Now, as stated earlier, because Kaido has access to Future Sight, he can use Conqueror's Code, and I think it's safe to say he's a very good user of Ryo. I believe the other Yonko possess this level of skill. Big Mom definitely Shanks without a shadow of doubt. I mean, this man only has one arm, doesn't have a double fruit. As for Blackbeard, even if he doesn't have the skill of the other Yonko, his 2 OP double fruits should make up for it. So back on the note of Luffy and Kaido, despite all that Kaido's packing, we know at the end of the day Luffy is going to win. With the way things played out at the end of the last chapter 1042, I have no way as to exactly how Oda is going to go about this, but I do know Luffy's going to defeat Kaido. So now that we got that out the way, for the remainder of this video, we're going to be talking about a few ways Luffy could bridge the gap between him and Shanks and essentially the other Yonko. Even though after Wano we're only going to have like 2 Yonko left. So currently in Wano, Luffy has the ability to use Future Sight, a highly advanced level of observation haki that allows Luffy to see a short period into the future. He also has a good mastery of Ryo. He can now emit armor and haki as well as use it internally to cause damage. Now this leads us to Conqueror's Code. In chapter 1010, Luffy figured out he can apply the same concepts of haki flow, which he learned through his Ryo training in Udon, to Conqueror's Haki. Luffy now has the ability to use what the greats Whitebeard and Roger use, Conqueror's Code, an ability only the strongest can use, an ability that only the top-notch possess. This is the same ability that allowed him to fight one-on-one in even terms with Kaido, and even earn the respect from someone so strong like Kaido. I mean, Kaido calls Luffy a worthy opponent, meaning someone strong enough to give him a challenge, albeit he's flirting and drinking in the middle of the fight. But hey, he said this is his way of showing he's having a good time. Strange, but we'll go with it. Moving on, these new assets that Luffy has gained is showing allow him to be on the same playing field as Shanks. But I feel like if they were to meet right now, Luffy runs straight at Shanks, embraces him, Shanks pulls out his saber to test him and shit. With all this, I think Luffy is going to get sent flying, similar to Oden and Roger. When Oden ran to Roger thinking he could take him on, but he got sent flying back. I think the same thing is going to happen. So how can Luffy bridge this gap? Well, there are 3 options running through my head as of the recording of this video. The first option is through Luffy's gears. So as of the recent chapters, Luffy has shown to have gotten immensely better with his gears. I mean, he is imbuing Conqueror's Haki as well as arming it with his gears, switching in and out of Gear 4 forms. I mean, there's the panel where Luffy came back on Momo and he switched quickly into Snake Man and landed a Conqueror's Cone attack and then switched out. Then there's the last chapter, 1042. You guys remember the part of the last chapter where Kaido swallowed Luffy, spit him out, and fired a blast breath. Luffy managed to get hit with it and ended up almost falling straight down to the mainland. But before he could, he quickly switched back into Bounceman to bring him back up. There are other times throughout this 1v1 where continuing to switch through gears, second and third, and I mean, that's not really new, but he's doing it in the middle of attacks and the transitions between them just seem much smoother, if that makes sense. This is all after getting knocked out and coming back up. I can't imagine how much better he's going to be with it after this arc where he, gets time to take in all that he's learned. But those transformations aren't going to do it. Now, even though I'm totally against Luffy getting a new gear this arc because he's already had multiple power-ups this arc, and for me personally it'll feel bloated, Luffy needs something to put him over the edge and defeat Kaido. During 1042, when Luffy was getting ready to land the final blow, it felt as if Kaido was still ready to go. It felt as even if Luffy landed the attack, he still would have lost. This and many other hints have caused readers to, take lately what's been foreshadowing, have let a lot of readers, you can go on Reddit, that's all they're talking about, to speculating that a new arrival of a gear is coming, specifically Gear 5th. Again, I like to say I'm against this, but at the end of the day, it's totally up to Oda. Now, hypothetically speaking, if Luffy were to get Gear 5th at this stage of the story, I definitely believe this will put him very close to Shanks, assuming if Luffy gets Gear 5th during the Wano arc and uses it to defeat Kaido, then that will be the one final boost to closing the gap and allow him to ascend to the level where he can overwhelm Kaido and essentially surpass him in a sense, even though Kaido still will be stronger. So now that we got that out the way, let's take a look at our next option, which is Awakening. So because of the awakenings we have gotten this arc, specifically Law and Kid, many readers assume because Luffy fellow Worst Generation members have gotten an awakening in this arc, Luffy will get his as well. Now there is also the supposed defeat of Luffy at the end of 1042 after taking a direct hit from Kaido's club. As stated earlier, there are many readers who think he'll get Gear 5th, and he'll use that to close out the fight. As for the readers who don't think he'll get Gear 5th or are against this idea, they instead assume he's going to awaken so OP that it'll allow him to defeat Kaido. And speaking of overpowered, a few chapters ago, the Gorosei were discussing a special fruit that's name was deemed to be erased from the annals of history. Many readers speculated that this was Luffy's fruit being talked about, and the fact that the CP0 agent was ordered to take out Luffy, I believe last chapter, was just confirmation for them. Now Luffy's fruit having an overpowered awaken adds even more potential to Luffy's ceiling, and without a shadow of doubt, closing the gap between him and Shanks in strength depending on what the fruit can do. I have no doubt Luffy will find a way to implement his awakening with his fighting style, great use of haki, and eventually gears. And who knows, maybe we can even get a new version of the gears that suit his awakening. There's also the possibility that Luffy's Gear 5th is mainly awaken focused, assuming he doesn't get this arc. And this actually leads us to our last option. Both Luffy gets awakening and develops Gear 5th, and that closes the gap between him and Shanks, and most likely puts him even ahead of Shanks, which will be a sight to see. So yesterday 1043 came out, and apparently Luffy awakened at the end of the chapter. Now with that being said, the possibilities of awakening are endless. Like as of right now, we don't know exactly if Luffy's about to tap into his true fruit, as most people would say. If his fruit happens to be a mythical, I don't know, Logia, Paramecia, like whatever the hell it is, like the possibilities are honestly endless. So with that being said, I think we should wait to find out what exactly is going on. Following that, I'll definitely come back and make an update to this video, but yeah. Well, it's about time we wrap this video up. Thank you all of you who made it to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Possibilities of this are endless. Man, only Oda knows really. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely drop a like, hit the subscribe button for more awesome One Piece content. It is your boy Anime Devil Hunter, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace, guys. Have an awesome day.